This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and greetings. I am Samia Mohammed from Pulse of Africa News. We highlight inspiring stories and key moments that are shaping Africa. Let's begin with Nigerian Vice President Shettima inaugurates Nigeria's pavilion in Davos. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima said the opening of Nigeria House in Davos reflects the country's renewed seriousness, readiness and resolve to take its place as an active participant in shaping global economic conversations. The Vice President stated this on Monday during the formal opening of the Nigerian House at 2026 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. He observed that while nations do not prosper in isolation, Nigeria's future growth depends on deliberate, structured engagement with the global economy. The Vice President stated that Nigeria has marked a historic milestone in its global economic engagement with the official opening of its house at the WEF 2026. This day is extraordinary in the history of our engagement at this beautiful meeting point of global political leadership, policy thinkers and corporate enterprise, he added.
This day represents an extraordinary day in the history of our engagements at this beautiful meeting point of global political leadership, policy thinkers and corporate enterprise. For the first time in our nation's history, Nigeria stands at Davos with a sovereign pavilion of its own. Nigeria House is a response to the lapses of the past. It reflects our intentions. It reflects our seriousness. It reflects our commitment. Above all, it advertises both our readiness and our resolve to take a frontline seat in the discourse of the global economy, not as observers, but as participants with a clear sense of purpose and place. We therefore seek to build stronger partnerships. Nigeria is indeed open for business, but more importantly, Nigeria is open for collaboration.
Moreover, he elaborated that government can open doors, create frameworks, and de-risk environments. Only enterprise can animate growth, scale opportunity, and translate policy into productivity. This house will thrive to the extent that it draws life from private capital, private innovation, and private confidence, he maintained. VP Shettima explained that the dividends of the Tinubu administration's reforms are beginning to materialize, noting that our decision to open up to the world more deliberately comes at a turning point in our economic journey. Cape Verde will hold legislative election on May 17th and a presidential election on November 15. President Jose Maria Neves announced following a meeting of the Council of the Republic, an advisory body to the head of state. The setting of election date is constitutional requirement, Neves said, noting that parliamentary polls must be held within 60-day window surrounding the end of the current legislature. The National Assembly was constituted on May 19, so election must be held between April 19 and June 19, he said. He added that the dates were determined after consultations with political parties registered with the Constitutional Court. If no candidate secures an outright majority, a second round of the presidential election will be held on November 29. Neves said the National Election Commission has confirmed that all conditions are in place for the legislative polls to proceed as scheduled. He called on political actors and civil society to exercise restraint and engage in high-level debate to ensure inclusive and peaceful elections.
In Ethiopia, more homes and businesses now have access to electricity. Access Access to power supports education, healthcare, and local businesses. Light changes lives.
Namibia is scheduled to conduct a nationwide polio vaccination campaign targeting children under 10 years old, health authorities said on Tuesday. The country-wide campaign will take place from January 26 to 29, followed by another round from February 24 to 27, the Ministry of Health and Social Services revealed in a polio update. In December, Namibia conducted its first campaign targeting the Kavango East and Kavango West regions, following the detection of circulating poliovirus type 2 in November 2025. The ministry reports that there have been no cases of polio to date. As a precautionary measure to protect children, all children under the age of 10 years should receive the polio vaccine, even if they are already fully vaccinated through routine immunization schedules and sessions, the ministry said. The campaign will be conducted through house-to-house, village-to-village visits and outreach mobile sites, health facilities, open markets, shopping malls, schools, kindergartens and transit sites. Although Namibia was declared polio-free in 2008, the country is still vulnerable to imported or vaccine-derived poliovirus, necessitating ongoing surveillance and recurring immunization campaigns. Ethiopian Airlines Group, Africa's leading carrier, has confirmed purchase of a 9 Boeing 787-9 aircraft, with deliveries planned between 2031 and 2033. The addition of the aircraft aims to expanding the airline's route network and enhance its international connectivity, providing more flexible flight options for passengers. The airline's latest B787 order follows its commitment for 11 737 MAX jets announced at the Dubai Air Show. The 787 and 737 MAX purchase was finalized in December 2025 and boosted Ethiopian Airlines order book by 20 full efficient Boeing airplanes. Ethiopian Airlines operate Africa's largest 787 Dreamliner fleet, flying its 787-8 and 787-9 jets on intercontinental routes from Addis Ababa to high-demand destinations across Europe, Asia and North America, as well as key intra-African routes spanning the world's second-largest continent. The order with Boeing brings Ethiopian Airlines' total number of Boeing 787-9 aircraft on order to 20 aircraft. Furthermore, including the previous ordered Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, Ethiopian Airlines has significant firm orders as well as options and purchases rights for Boeing 737 MAX and Boeing 777X aircraft. Now to business news. Wamekele Meni, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, on Monday participated in the Pan-African Regional Integrated Roundtable title Unlocking Trade and Investments through the AfCFTA, hosted by South Africa House in Davos. Speaking at the event, Meni highlighted the progress made in establishing the regulatory frameworks necessary to implement the AfCFTA. He underscored that amid shifting global geopolitics and the growing weaponization of the tariffs, the AfCFTA represents Africa's most strategic response to protecting and advancing the continent's trade interests. He further stressed the urgency of accelerating the adoption of the Pan-African payment and settlement system by African banks, noting that broader uptake would significantly reduce transaction costs and enable smoother, faster and more competitive cross-border trade for African businesses. The AfCFTA, which came into force in 2019, is the world's largest free trade area by a number of participating countries, bringing together 54 African nations into a single market of more than 1.4 billion people. The agreement aims to boost inter-African trade, industrialization and economic diversification by removing tariffs, harmonizing regulation and facilitating the movement of goods, services and investment across borders. PAPSS, developed under the AfCFTA framework, is designed to allow instant cross-border payments in local currencies, reducing reliance on foreign currencies and lowering the cost of trade within Africa. The roundtable took place on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos, where global political and business leaders gather annually to discuss pressing economic and geopolitical challenges. Africa's trade integration agenda has featured prominently this year as countries seek reliance amid global economic uncertainty. Togo expects to raise 10.38 billion CFA francs in mining royalties in 2026, according to revenue forecast for the 2026 and 2028 period. This amount is projected to increase to 12.48 billion CFA francs in 2027 and reach 13.62 billion CFA francs in 2028. Over the 3-year period, revenue from mining royalties is forecast to rise by nearly 31% based on the projections. This suggests a gradual increase in the mining sector contribution to public finances over the next 3 years. However, these royalties would still be below recent collections, and mining has historically generated most revenue, making only a limited contribution to the state budget. Available data show total mining revenue amounted to about 19.84 billion CFA francs in 2021. Despite the relative growth expected from 2026 to 2028, mining royalties remain very small compared with total expected budget revenue, which is projected to exceed 1,600 billion CFA francs in 2026. Togo's mining sector is dominated by phosphate. Production exceeded 1.5 million tons in 2022, and the mineral has been mined for decades as the country's main mineral export. Now to sports news. The popular American streamer iShowSpeed sparked excitement online after discovering one of Cristiano Ronaldo's Ballon d'Or trophies during a visit to Morocco. The unexpected moment captured on video quickly went viral across social media platforms. The trophy was seen during iShowSpeed's store as a part of his travels in the country, drawing reaction from fans amazed to see the prestigious award outside Europe. Ronaldo, one of football's greatest players, has won the Ballon d'Or 5 times during his illustrious career. The discovery added to iShowSpeed's growing popularity among football fans and highlighted Cristiano Ronaldo's global influence, with memorabilia linked to the Portuguese star attracting attention wherever it appears. Uganda's Joshua Kipri Cheptegei will open his 2026 season at the Burj to Burj Half Marathon in Dubai on February 8, organizers said. Cheptegei, who won the Tata Steel Kolkata Road race in India last month, said he is aiming for a strong start to the year. The 2-time Olympic gold medalist said he plans to use half marathon to sharpen his speed as he continues his transition to longer distances. These half marathons will help me improve a lot in speed ahead of the marathons in 2026. He said, adding, I am slowly adapting to the marathon races since I stopped running track races. Cheptegei made his marathon debut at the 2023 Valencia Marathon, finishing 37th. He set personal best of 2 hours, 4 minutes and 52 seconds last year when he placed 5th at the TCS Amsterdam Marathon. He is set to face competition in Dubai from Kenya's Nicholas Kipkorir and Tanzania's Apalhoni Simbu. That's for the hour. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.